welcome to this explainer. We're jumping straight into the actual mechanics of building wealth today. And to do that, we've got to break down this massive, completely false choice that's been floating around forever. The idea that you have to choose between earning more and spending less. I mean, you know the drill, right? The ultra-frugal crowd swears that if you just stop buying $5 lattes, you're magically going to be a millionaire. Meanwhile, the hustle culture folks are out there yelling at you to sleep 3 hours a night and just grind for more income. But as we're diving into the source material today, you'll see that true financial freedom takes a totally different approach. So let's get right into the real math of getting off that financial hamster wheel. So, can a workout overcome a terrible diet? Think about it. Imagine hitting the gym for 3 grueling hours. You're lifting heavy weights, you're sprinting on the treadmill, literally sweating buckets. But then, you go home and just gorge on junk food all day long. We're talking a massive double cheeseburger, an entire greasy pizza, half a dozen donuts. Right away, we all intuitively know this is never going to work for physical fitness. You simply can't out-train a bad diet. Your body is a system. If you're flooding it with bad inputs, no amount of positive effort in the gym is going to get you into peak physical shape. It's completely obvious when we're talking about our bodies. And that brings us to this incredible insight from our source material, connecting that physical reality directly to our wallets. If you want maximum results, you don't choose between dieting and exercising, you do both. You have to control the inputs and maximize the outputs. Turns out, money works exactly like fitness. It's a dual action process. If you want maximum financial results, you can't just pick one side of the ledger. You can't just budget and save, and you can't just hustle and spend. It's the whole shebang.
Section 1. The two-sided equation, debunking the wealth myth.
So this is the absolute core premise we're looking at today, the hard truth that financial freedom absolutely requires cutting and adding at the exact same time. It's not an either-or scenario, guys. It is a both-and requirement. Just map this directly over to our health analogy. On one side, the fitness equation is diet plus exercise. Over on the other side, the finance equation is cut expenses plus increase income. By laying it out like this, the source material hammers home a reality check. You can't out-earn bad spending any more than you can budget your way to wealth with zero income. If you only cut expenses, you're eventually going to hit a floor. I mean, you can only cut so much before you literally have nothing left to live on. But if you only increase income without putting a lid on your spending, you're just building a bigger, faster hamster wheel. You need both sides working together. Let's break down exactly how to pull that off. Step 1. Increase income, the fuel for your financial engine. All right, let's talk about taking the ceiling off your earning potential. Our source material uses a great word here, fuel. Without fuel, your financial engine is going absolutely nowhere, no matter how shiny and well-maintained it is. Let's run through the specific methods highlighted in the text for generating this fuel, without hitting a ceiling. First up, develop new skills. The marketplace happily pays for specialized knowledge, stuff like learning to code, writing copy, or managing complex projects. Second, create additional income streams. Relying on just one single paycheck, highly risky. Third, sell more. That could be a product, a service, or just your own time. Fourth, start a business. Even a small weekend side hustle counts. And finally, find ways to logically increase the value you provide. Income isn't just random. It's a direct reflection of the value you deliver. The big takeaway here is that income acts as the crucial fuel, giving you more capital to actually work with. Remove the earnings ceiling and your upside is theoretically infinite. But, and this is a huge but, all that infinite upside is practically useless if your gas tank is full of holes. Step 2. Reduce expenses, stopping the leaks in your bucket. Okay, so we just talked about pouring more fuel into the engine, more water into the bucket, so to speak. But now we really need to slow down and look at what's flowing out. Because honestly, this is exactly where so many high earners completely sabotage their own financial freedom. Here's the harsh truth. Increasing your income doesn't matter if every single additional dollar immediately gets consumed. It's that classic sneaky trap of lifestyle creep. Think about how frustrating this actually is. You grind, you work incredibly hard to get that promotion, you land a huge new client, you get a massive raise, and yet 6 months later, you're somehow still living paycheck to paycheck? Why? Because the very second your income went up, your expenses spiked right along with it. You leased a much nicer car, you started going out to pricey dinners, you basically upgraded your entire lifestyle to match the new paycheck. You cranked up the water coming into the bucket? Sure. But then you took a drill and made wider holes right in the bottom. According to our source, if you keep doing this, you'll never ever create the financial gap necessary to actually build wealth. So how do we actually fix these leaks? Well, the source text lays out a super clear strategy for properly reducing excess expenses. First, identify the expenses that don't meaningfully improve your life. Notice that key phrase right there, meaningfully improve. Once you spot them, you eliminate, reduce, or renegotiate them. But listen up, because this is probably the most important part of this whole section. The goal here is not to live miserably. We're not talking about extreme, eat rice and beans forever penny pinching, or denying yourself every little joy in life. It is solely about stopping wasted capital. If a certain subscription or a daily habit truly brings you genuine joy, keep it. But if it's just a passive leak that you barely even notice is draining your account, cut it. Just stop the waste.
Step 3. Redeploy the gap, the most important part of the equation. All right, so we've cranked up the income, we've patched up the leaks and reduced excess expenses. Now we have this incredible collision of high income and highly controlled spending. And that collision, it creates something uniquely powerful: the gap. The gap is the deployable capital created by the exact difference between what you earn and what you spend. Honestly, this is it. This is the absolute secret to breaking off the hamster wheel. If you make 10 grand a month and you spend 10 grand a month, your gap is exactly zero. You have zero deployable capital, and frankly, you're financially vulnerable. But if you earn 10 grand and strategically spend 6 grand, bam, you've got a $4,000 gap. That gap is literally your ticket to freedom. But here's the kicker. Just having the gap isn't enough. It's what you actually do with it that really matters. You have to actively put that gap to work. The text is crystal clear on this. Save it, invest it, or put it into something that actually increases your future income. The gap between what you earn and what you spend becomes your deployable capital. You've got to think of these dollars like little soldiers, ready to be sent out into the world to capture even more resources for you. That can mean redirecting your surplus into the stock market, buying real estate, funding a new business opportunity, or honestly just building a rock-solid savings cushion so you can sleep well at night. By doing this, you're taking the money left over and forcing it to generate more income, which eventually turns your personal financial engine into a completely self-sustaining powerhouse.
The bottom line, the repeating cycle of financial freedom. Look, financial freedom is not a one-time event. It's not like winning the lottery or hitting this magical finish line where everything is just perfectly fixed forever. As the source material makes super clear, you do not achieve financial freedom by obsessing over either making more or spending less. It's an ongoing, continuous procedural cycle where you have to do both simultaneously. Make more, keep more, redeploy the difference. Repeat. Make more, keep more, redeploy the difference. Repeat. That needs to become your personal financial mantra. It's rhythmic, it's totally logical, and it perfectly encapsulates this whole two-sided equation. If you only make more, you lose. If you only keep more, you just stagnate. You've got to execute all 4 steps of this formula continuously, year after year, to see maximum results.
So I want to leave you with one final hard-hitting question based on everything we've unpacked in this explainer today. Which side of the financial equation are you currently neglecting? Are you pouring all your energy into aggressively clipping coupons while your actual income stays totally flat? Or, on the flip side, are you grinding 80 hours a week to boost your revenue, only to let every extra dollar slip right through your fingers thanks to lifestyle creep? Remember, it's not an either-or choice. Take a really honest look at your wallet this week and figure out how you can start mastering both sides of the equation. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.